Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to our ecosystem update live stream. My name is Ashley. I'm the Education Programs Manager at Metis, and I'm really excited to be with you here today. We're going to jump into our roadmap review. So last week we released an article explaining our roadmap for the rest of 2022. And so I kind of shared a little bit of an overview of that last week. And so today I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into some of those topics and hopefully answer any questions that you all have. And then we'll go into a Genesi update with Natalia Ameline. And I'll run over some other announcements before our Q&A with the team. And then we'll play Kahoot for a chance to win 100 USDC. And I do believe our fabulous live stream administrators have fixed the delay for YouTube. So there may be 2 to 3 seconds max. But if you're a YouTube audience member, you should be able to play in our quiz game today. So looking forward to having a lot of participants in that. Don't forget, we love to have your questions for these, and it's helpful if we get them a little bit in advance. So send us your questions on Telegram. If you haven't joined our MetisDAO chat, then scan this little QR code to join, and we'll answer them, if not here, then in our other forums in Telegram, Discord, and on social media. Just a disclaimer that I share with you every week. None of this is legal or financial advice. I'm not a tax professional or a lawyer or a financial advisor or accountant. I'm just someone giving you educational information about what we're doing at Metis so you can make informed decisions. So if you're new here, Metis is a decentralized economy platform. So we're really trying to make blockchain accessible to everyone. We want to power the Web3 economy with scalability, security, and decentralization. So our goal is to make this accessible for users who are brand new to blockchain and for businesses who have maybe a Web2 business structure but would like to bring some elements on chain, or startups, innovators, freelancers, anyone who wants to move into Web3. And we do that with a decentralized network, and we'll talk more through our roadmap review about what that looks like and kind of how that's progressing with us. Something that's easy to use and easy to implement. Functionality that is EVM equivalent and just makes it really simple for dApps to deploy. And then we have obviously the lowest gas fees in all the L2s, and increasing our scalability and security so that there are no bottlenecks for you to deploy. Oh, wrong direction. All right. So whether you are trying to form a DAO or if you have any interest in DAC or decentralized autonomous corporations, if you have a Web2 business, if you're into gaming, NFTs, metaverse, or if you just want to help Web3 grow with contributing your services to multiple projects, Metis has the tools for you to thrive in Web3. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what we're developing with our 2022 year-end roadmap. If you haven't already read this document, it's we have the article posted. It's about 8 pages, and it's quite robust. So there are several sections that kind of go into more detail about each thing. So I'm going to do a broad overview of each section, and then any questions you can reach out to us in our community channels, and I'll try to address those for you. So if you haven't had a chance to read it yet, go ahead and scan this QR code. It'll take you to the article so that you can get an overview, but this is kind of an outline. It talks about our vision for supporting the Web3 economy. It goes over our smart layer 2 innovative infrastructure. We talk about how we're decentralizing governance with new governance structure called econodes and commons. And then a lot of this is kind of supported by our reputation power system, which is decentralized Web3 credentials that are kind of powering this human-centered and driven Web3 economy. And then, of course, our DAC infrastructure, Polis, which is allowing us to bring more Web2 businesses into Web3. So let me talk a little bit about some of those highlights for you now. So earlier this year, we kind of termed ourselves Smart L2 because our innovative technology was a little bit different than anything else that we were really seeing out there. Not quite optimistic rollup, not quite some of these other terms that were being thrown around. So we've kind of developed our own space, and we will continue to innovate. The focus is that we're offering scalable, cheap, and secure decentralized access to Web3. We have a network that can support increased user flow. It can run and sustain dApps, and it's something that we're trying to build to bring mass adoption. So we want as many people as possible to be able to break into Web3 with the Metis network. In the upcoming couple of quarters through the end of the year, we'll release our verifier staking. Our peer network will become open to the public, and our sequencer pool, which will essentially have a smart contract that can kind of like randomly choose sequencers to further decentralize that part of our network. And then we'll continue to develop our on-chain fraud-proof design with a possible evolution to ZK. We say that just because whatever becomes like the best innovation that will help us to offer the best product, the best network, then that's what we're going to move towards. So we're continually innovating our own structures, and we'll continue to incorporate other mechanisms as they become developed and can really harness the power of what we're trying to do at Metis. Our governance structure is going to become further decentralized. So we are launching 2 new governance structures, commons and eco nodes. And so the idea is that everyone in the network can have a voice. Every community member can really have a say in how things run. So commons are kind of like groups for people to kind of come together with some common interest. They can stake Metis tokens and accumulate the Metis to help them gain voting power. And then these commons can be formed for particular issues. If you have like a specific initiative that you want to focus on the network, you can form a common. You can invite people to your common. If you are in a common and you're like, actually, I think my interest lies with this other one, then you can leave and join a different one. But essentially, it's a place that's designed to give every community member a voice and to bring smaller holders together so that they can gain leverage and be sure that their vote counts. Then we have eco nodes. Eco nodes are going to contribute to the growth of the Metis ecosystem. So a lot of we'll talk a little bit more about these in a moment, but a lot of the like larger systems that we have within the ecosystem are going to be divided up into eco nodes, and contributors to the ecosystem will receive reputation power badges that demonstrate their contributions and that increase their decision-making power. So this two-pronged approach will kind of come together and allow the community to submit Metis improvement plans, or MIPs. So essentially, common members, anyone really, can submit or propose an improvement plan. You develop a proposal saying, hey, I think this could be better, or I have an idea or something that I want to bring to the network. It will pass a voting threshold. Eco nodes can cast their votes for their final decision. So this is just a way for you to actually contribute and offer your own innovation, your own genius to the ecosystem. All of this is kind of backed by reputation power. So we're really trying to harness the human-centered aspect of Web3, this individual-centric on-chain presence, this humanity that lives within the blockchain. So social NFT badges will be minted to represent your credentials in Web3, your contributions, your achievements, your voting. All of these things can be minted as reputation power, and you can display them in Web3. This will allow for dApps to create their own rewards and issue their own NFT badges for different achievements and different engagement that they think is most valuable on their platform. And then it can be used to demonstrate levels of trustworthiness. So people who have accumulated a lot of reputation power are people who've been very engaged in a project or an ecosystem, who have continually voted, who have maybe submitted some MIPs for us, or who have, in whatever unique ways each dApp has decided they want to value engagement, that's going to convey their level of trustworthiness. And this is going to be kind of offered in a few parts. So reputation power system is the encompassing term for all of this. But we have a few different like subsets that explain the different interfaces for the entire system. So Matrix is the user interface. So this is where regular old Ashley can log on and mint my social NFT badge, and I can display them. I can follow other people. I can see what projects they're contributing to. And so I can see what I've done. It's displayed on my own little profile. Other people can come and look into what I'm contributing to. Matrix Station is the front end for dApps to be able to distribute their NFT badges. So this is where they can send them out to their community members. Polis is the back end. It's for the devs to deploy smart contracts and develop unique badges. So if they want to issue reputation power for swaps on their network, then they can develop unique badges for that and then distribute them through Matrix Station, and then you can mint them in Matrix. So these are the three kind of layers to the entire reputation power system. All of this also really supports Polis, which is our middleware to support this Web 2 to Web 3 integration. So it's really meant to make the transition from Web 2 to blockchain elements in your business really simple. It will support the RP system, the reputation power system. And like I said, dApps will be able to choose what they want to assign reputation power for within their own platform and develop their own badges to award their community. And then we'll also have a new wallet, BLS wallet, that will increase functionality for dApps and reduce gas costs, which might allow for people to combine several transactions into one. We'll also further our integration with Memo Labs for NFT storage. And then our no-code deployment templates, API support, and network expansion will grow through Q4. So we want to have just a really simple integration, very user-friendly path for Web 2 businesses to launch into Web 3 for whatever enterprise functions they need, and then also receive the support that they need as they navigate the new process. And as we do this, we are continually trying to support the projects that are developing on the Metis ecosystem. So we've recently launched our community ecosystem governance process, which has grown quite a bit and is going great. But as we continue to evolve that, any projects that pass that CEG process and become community verified projects will have reputation power kind of like rolled into their deployment. Reputation power will mint people, will be able to track people's voting in that process. We'll be able to track the projects that go through. And then, of course, those projects will have the option to use reputation power within their communities as well. And then we'll also start to fund and incubate the eco nodes that are going to essentially be their own DACs that kind of run these different aspects of the Metis ecosystem. So a few that we've outlined in the roadmap that we're planning for will be Web3 identity, DAC economy initiative, Metis Studio, marketing, and liquidity provision. So these are ones that we've kind of like highlighted as needs for eco nodes, but there will be opportunities to expand that in the future. And now we're going to have a little update from the Genesee DAC, because the Genesee DAC is still very much powering the development of the Metis ecosystem. So I'm going to turn it over to Natalia Ameline, who's the leader, and she's going to give us a little update on what's going on with Genesee.
Thank you, Ashley. So what is Genesee? Genesee is a Metis ecosystem fund. Essentially, it's a number of independent VC funds that are passionate about what we are building here, who got together, and we created the investment DAO. The goal, of course, is to support the Metis ecosystem. Our target audience is, of course, projects building on Metis. So what are we looking for? The question that is asked very frequently: what types of projects we're looking for? It's rather simple. We're looking for the projects that will promise a great returns for our investors over the next several years, and not, of course, just promise, but also deliver. So in terms of particular criteria, I would like to name a few. Of course, they are not all of them, but the most important ones probably is, first of all, we're looking at the unique, how unique the project is and how it is adding value to Metis ecosystem. If it's just a copy-paste project, it's probably not as interesting. And again, it should bring value to overall Metis ecosystem. We're looking for the project with a strong market need. So, for example, we are looking at how much demand this project is likely to generate. So any project should meet the functional needs, desires, and goals of the target audience, right? We're looking at how well thought out the business model is and how economically feasible it is, right? So, for example, can the project sustain itself without the token over the number of years? Can it run as a business independently and grow revenues over the next 5 or so years? Right? If the answer is no, and we're just getting the money from the token sale and from investors, and we're just spending on expenses, and there's no any value created, that's probably not a good investment idea. The project should stand on its own and be able to earn good income over the years. And of course, a very important is the team. Always talk about how important it is to have a team with the strong track record and with the right skill set that will be able to stick around and go through the tough times that they will, of course, meet on the road. That's the main things that we're looking for. How to apply? Another question that probably is frequently asked. That's pretty straightforward, actually. First of all, you need to connect with our business development team. They will be happy to connect with you and will discuss with you in more detail how your project fits into Metis ecosystem, what integration process looks like, and answer kind of all your questions. It does help if your project is going through CEG process and becomes community verified project. Your chances are getting higher. Following the BizDev recommendations, your project will be directed and I will be in touch with you. So what we need is specifically for the be considered in a Genesee and kind of get with the process of applying for funding. So first, you will need to share with me and with the team your pitch deck, which describes your project, your go-to-market strategy, your business model, your tokenomics, information about your team, and anything else that you believe is applicable and will help us assess and evaluate your project better. So once I review it, if I may have some questions, or I will just reach out to you and I will set up a call to discuss the project with you in more detail. If your project meets our criteria, the next step will be a pitch to Genesee Investment Board. The way that Genesee works is, as I mentioned, it's the number of investors, conglomerate of investors that got together. But they nominated Genesee Investment Board to be an investment steward. So you are pitching to the Genesee Investment Board, which typically consists of 3 VC firms. Your pitch should be about 20 minutes so that you have time for Q&A with investors afterwards, and your pitch will be recorded. If the investors love your ideas and vote yes for your project, then information about your project, along with your pitch, with your white paper, with any information and recorded pitch, will be released to the Genesee Fund membership. And all VC members will have access to it, so that those who are interested, they will express interest to me, and I will set up individual chats between your project and interested VCs, and you would be able to negotiate all the applicable terms and conditions directly with them. Well, that's pretty much highlights the process and describes what Genesee is. I hope it answers your questions that you have. If not, we're going to have Q&A.
Thank you, Natalia. All right, yeah, we'll move into Q&A here in just a few moments, but a couple other announcements before we get into that. Don't forget about ETH Toronto, especially if you're in the area. This is a free event. We do have limited space, and there will be a hackathon, so please come. It's August 8th through 10th. You can scan that QR code to head to the website and learn more about the exciting venue and all that we have planned for Toronto in August. Also, we recently published a new episode of the Weekly Wisdom. So if you want to hear about our team's experience at some of our most recent conferences and just kind of our recap of our highlights and Metis Fest, head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find the Weekly Wisdom. So hit us up and let us know how you like it. All right. Community ecosystem governance. This is our last section of updates. So I'm going to turn it over to Doug, our CEG governor here, and he's going to give us the rundown.
The governor. Hi, everybody. Yeah, welcome back to another week. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on CEG. This week, we're actually going to have two guests. We've been kind of busy getting caught up with getting projects ready, getting their videos in. So we didn't have anything last week, but this week we're going to have two guests. It's going to be Hummus and Memo Labs. And the Memo Labs one's going to be really cool because we're going to kind of dive into the Smart L2 stuff a little bit. So it's going to be a little bit more tech-focused discussion, and we'll have Hummus as well. So be sure to tune in on that. Another quick update. With kind of how CEG is going, it really is kind of the premier new projects that have just deployed or have already been deployed on Metis. And so we're really proud of the projects that we do have. But it's better if we're going to have it just not every single week, right? Some weeks we might have two guests, some weeks we may have one, but we're going to change it to now a bi-weekly. So every other week, we're going to be doing it. That way we can properly co-market the CVPs as well, and then also get everything condensed into one and kind of a better episode. But yeah, looking forward to Hummus and Memo Labs this week. And shout out to, I think we're up to 15 now, guys. 15 CVP projects. Some have even met with Natalia regarding Genesee, and we'll kind of get into that a little bit later during the Q&A. But yeah, look forward to chatting with you guys next week on Thursday, this week rather.
Man, appreciate you. All right, let's move into our Q&A session. So I'm going to pull up some questions that we've collected ahead of time, but my team will share any ones that come up as we go along here in the chat, so we can try to get those coming in. All right, our first question. Let's see here who from my team is all on the call, so I know who I can call on. Okay, cool. Everybody's in. So Boba recently raised $45 million and have just integrated Phantom and Moonbeam to their ecosystem. Does Metis have plans for any fundraising? I think Elena, our CEO, wants to handle this one.
Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you can see me and hear me. Okay, so what we have for the fundraising. You just saw our roadmap, and according to our roadmap, we're building a decentralized community. So instead of money being raised and distributed by one central authority, we plan for help to develop different econodes, and they also known as the DACs also, to establish and raise money for each part of the ecosystem. For example, for the reputation power, for the Web2, for the L2, so the econodes and different many econodes will be established and carry on their raise separately. So this way we ensure the decentralization and not the centralization. And all of this going to be, of course, under Metis Foundation governance, but actually the funding and the autonomy will come from each node, from each eco node. So that's the answer of the question. So watch our announcements as these eco nodes getting rolled out, and the money will be raised by each of them, each one of them.
Thanks, Elena. I have another question that's slightly related in the chat just now. So it's several questions about econodes, but are econodes how do commons become econodes? Are DACs automatically econodes? Can DACs join together to become stronger econodes? So I guess the question really is like, how do these econodes form, and are people able to like develop a commons into an econode, etc.?
Yes, so the econode has to be the direct contributor to the ecosystem and to the whole Metis ecosystem. So it has to be very much in line of the roadmap developments. So yes, if you are thinking, like if you have an ideas of your DACs, if you are you can see yourself as the leader of this decentralized, communities, decentralized business of any business line that you carry on that is actually in line with the Metis roadmap. Please drop us a message. We will consider you, inside of the Metis governance as the econode and help you to raise money. But also, nobody stops you to roll out your own econode if you think that you can do it. So please start yourself as well. But yes, certainly we will help. What we will have it a little bit of the governed and controlled it from the beginning, like at least for the core econodes that we planned out already. But as we imagine the ecosystem, it can grow indefinitely. So therefore can be, different econodes and different DACs as econodes.
Thank you, Elena.
I think I can add something regarding these econodes. I can see people are curious about how it gonna look like. So first, when we launch this DAC Portal 2.0, which is our next product release from the community developers, first you will be able to create a DAC. That is step one. If you hope to become a common or econode, you need to be a DAC at the beginning. And then when you create the DAC, you can invite your community members or team members join, and you can collectively to stake Metis to gain Metis. Metis is the voting power for you to exert your influence in the upcoming proposal voting. When this DAC accumulates Metis, this DAC will become the common automatically. So DAC plus Metis equal common. That is another step. But how can a common become an econode? Just as Elena has mentioned, econode should be some commons to contribute to the ecosystem development of Metis. So there will be a short list to be published, and we hope to articulate what kind of contribution we are looking for. Let's say if you contribute to the development, tech development or business development to the ecosystem, this could be one, or you provide liquidity to the ecosystem. That could be another criteria. So if you meet these criteria, certain kind of reputation power badge will be issued to this common. And then at that time, this common will become econode. So it means every econode should be the contributor to the ecosystem. It's not like you create a DAC and it's become an econode automatically. It's not. You still need to contribute to the ecosystem, and then certain kind of RP badge will be issued to this common, and then this common will become econode. And we hope to help this econode with funding, marketing, and also other collaborations within the ecosystem. So that's I think that's a part I can add.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Okay. We also had a question. Does Genesee DAC have a Twitter? No, I don't think so. Okay. Let's see. This question essentially is asking for more trusted dApps and on Metis so that, we don't have users and builders leaving the network. And so there are a couple of questions here, essentially, like how are we attracting more social platforms, NFT platforms, developer communities, etc., and preventing people from leaving the network? What are our plans for growing it, essentially? So we've got a few of those. So I'm going to turn it over to our business development team to answer.
Absolutely. Thanks, Ashley, and hello, everyone. So I appreciate the question, and there was one word, trusted, in the question that I think is kind of a key point. So when every ecosystem starts, there's like its growing pains, and one of the growing pains we experienced was kind of an exploit on Starstream, and it kind of resulted in a sense of trust being lost, and that's been like the core focus of the business development team, is like, how can we rebuild this foundation from a place where people are very comfortable being on the network, they're comfortable interacting with dApps and whatnot. So there will be a lot more I can say on this next week, but essentially what we've been doing is taking the approach of taking the familiar brand names or the flagship protocols that people in the crypto space at large are familiar with, and lining those up to kind of deploy on the network in a manner that aligns with kind of our greater strategy for the rest of the year. That's going to involve some grant programs, some incentives, some emissions, and just really bringing it back to square one at a place where everyone feels comfortable, and then bringing on the more, I guess, niche or less well-known dApps and products like that. So there's a lot more coming. We're basically writing up a whole article, big month ahead, and then a big end of the year. So we are very much handling it, and I'm excited for you all to see what we have in store for you.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, I just want to chime in here a little bit as well regarding that one. And just to kind of clarify with the community about, we have how kind of the flow works with a project that comes to us. We have kind of two different ways, inbound and outbound. And, our biz dev team primarily handles both, right? They have projects that come to us, and we vet them. We analyze if they're, appropriate for the network. It would be good for our ecosystem. Maybe if they're cross-chain, they're already operating on another network and they want to come over to take advantage of our low fees and transaction speeds. And then there's also outbound. We're talking the Aves, the chain links, the sushis, the bigger projects that they might already not necessarily need us, but we would like them to come over to the network. So that's kind of the two activities that BizDev primarily does. But then we also have the CEG program, and that, just to clarify, is kind of like our incubator a little bit. It's more for newer, unestablished projects, right? That might have taken existing project concept, done a little something different, added some utility, and really want to network in a team like us that really supports early projects and developers as they're new, right? And so that's what the CG program primarily does. It allows those newer projects that don't have that history behind them to demonstrate to us that they're good to go. So the CG program is meant to highlight these newer projects with these co-marketing activities. We get the community's vote of support, like, yes, this is a cool, new, interesting project. One of my favorites is like Revenant, right? They're a whole launchpad and ecosystem, all these cool things, but they're newer, but we kind of give them a leg up and a platform. And so that's what CEG is. We'd love for all projects to go through CEG. We don't want it to be a hindrance to developers. And the feedback that we have gotten has been quite good compared to some of the other ecosystems where they don't get that level of support. So just want to clarify that CEG is meant to build developers and projects and teams up, market them to our respective communities, and BizDev's also working. So thanks, guys.
Thank
I'll
you.
just add a few words from myself, if you allow me, Ashley.
Go ahead.
Because I am mostly responsible for builders or partners' success. So first of all, thank you so much for your questions. It really shows that you guys care and you really pay attention. So that makes us feel like we are doing this for a reason. So thank you very much for that. And well, yes, this whole time has been a little bit difficult. There'll be a lot of changes, but also we've been working very hard on getting new contacts. We went to many conferences. We are going to Paris, to Toronto, and we've been to Austin. So we've been networking a lot, getting new contacts a lot, showing ourselves, organizing Metis Fest. I hope maybe someone attended our Metis Fest. It was a lot of fun. So we are there. We are really working hard on getting new contacts, but also my job is to keep our partners, our builders happy. I'm in constant contact with them. We want to make sure they get equal chances, equal marketing, equal opportunities. So and yeah, we have some exciting news coming soon, so stay tuned. And thank you again very much for keeping track. That's really great to see.
Thank you, Nat. All right. Okay, I see one more question in the chat. It says, are DACs automatically commons, or is it just an option for DACs to become commons who have certain political goals? I think Kevin answered this. They're not automatically commons. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, to become a common, DAC need to stake.
Thank you. Okay. When will sexes allow direct Andromeda withdrawal? It would be great to have Andromeda on Coinbase, OKX, and KuCoin. Kevin, do you want to take that one?
Yes, I think we're still working with OKX and KuCoin. It has been a while. I understand they are working on it, but I don't have the timeline for them to release. Yeah, but every week we're checking with them. For Coinbase, I don't think we have this arrangement for now. But I think based on the community feedback, we can talk with them. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. All right, this question is for marketing. So it asks about articles, press releases, or PR releases, and some basic Twitter strategy so that we can combat FUD and promote what we're building. So Chelsea, do you want to give us a marketing update?
Sure. So in terms of articles, we do have a few that will be announcing some major programs or campaigns that we're launching. So for one, business development had hinted at a bit of a incentive program. I would say that I don't know if it's been completely released, but we're going to have a Metis mission or a marathon, and essentially that would include not only us having builder mining rewards, but we'll chat more about opportunities through grants alongside those sustainable builder mining rewards. And then in addition to that, we also have our Genesee DAC. So you can expect some exciting news on how and why to build on Metis. And so there'll be incentives there. In addition to updates with projects which we are integrating or deploying onto Metis. So you can keep your eye out for that. I won't give everything away, but those are coming down the pipeline. And in addition to that, we do have press releases, which go out to PR firms first and foremost, alongside those updates and news. So I'd say it's a Metis DeFi summer that one can expect to see coming through our channels as well as others, including our partners. So keep your eye out for that. And there might be, is there another part of the question, Ashley, I'm missing there?
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay, great, excellent.
Thank you. All right, let's see, I think we answered most of these. Okay, here's one. It says, what is the new tech that caused the Ranger system to be delayed from Q2? Fast withdrawals is a great feature and distinct from other rollups. more questions on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can. I think I can answer a little bit, but actually, Yuan should be the perfect guy to answer that. You know, fraud proof and fast withdrawal is what we have been developing since the very beginning. But this is something, you know, very hard to develop. To be honest, you know, even Arbitrum and Optimism, they are still in the developing process. So I think what we are doing is that we're kept evaluating the current architecture and also are looking at like new tech, even including ZK, and we hope to involve more high tech into this function so that we can achieve the function in a high efficiently and also most advanced way. What I can say for now is still in the development stage. We will release more information, and I believe Yuan is preparing something. We will release it when it is ready. So we totally understand the community is asking for this, and we are also waiting for this. Yeah, but that's something in the still working progress.
Thanks, Kevin. All right. So the rest of the questions were basically about grants and VCs for the ecosystem. And we kind of covered all of that in our live stream today. So we do have a grants incentive whole package kind of coming up. And Genesee DAC is kind of like the VC conglomerate for our ecosystem. So that answers those questions. And I think that is all for Q&A for today. So thank you so much to my team for hopping on and helping me with those. I appreciate your contributions so much. I'm going to introduce our Kahoot game and just get everybody ready. And then while you're getting set up, I'm going to announce the winners of our NFT badge creation contest. So let me walk you through the Kahoot setup so you can get ready, and then I'll show you that. Okay, so for Kahoot, and like I said, our awesome admins, they figured out how to overcome the delay that we were facing. So we fixed it. So now you will go to Kahoot and thanks everybody. So you'll go to Kahoot and you need a second device because you'll see the questions and everything displayed on my screen. But you'll on your other devices where you'll put the answers in. So you can't like see the questions and input your answers on the same screen. So you need two devices there. You'll sign up with your Telegram handle. And again, this is just your player identification information. Only the Metis team sees it. It's not visible to everybody else who plays the game. It's just so we know how to contact you in case you win. So we can issue you your reward. There'll be like a little pattern of symbols that you'll have 7 seconds to input correctly. This is just to prove that you're human. And then you will answer the questions correctly within a given time frame. All the multiple choice questions have 30 seconds. The true false has 20. And the faster you answer correctly, the higher on the leaderboard you will be. So answer correctly as quickly as you can for a better chance of winning. Top winner gets 100 USDC. So get ready and I will take us over there in just 1 second. In the meantime, while y'all get set up with that, I'm going to show you the winner from our contest. So let me just pull up our little image here. All right. So once again, this was a contest to design the badges for our NFT reputation, like our social NFT badges. And this badge design was the winner. So the designer gets some Metis rewards and this mosaic NFT badge here once the reputation power system has launched. So we'll share an announcement about this again on Twitter today so everyone can see, but just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek that the this one is the winner for our contest. So you'll get, I think, a little over 63 Metis and that Mosaic NFT badge once Reputation Power has launched. So congratulations to the winner. Thank everybody so much for their submissions. I got to go through them all and like choose the ones that I liked and vote, and it was really hard. There were some really awesome designs. We have a really talented community, so thank you so much for being engaged and contributing. All right, so let's hop on over to Kahoot. I'm going to get us started here and show you all how to join. All right, it's loading. We're going to go classic mode. All right, so you'll either go to kahoot.it, or if you have the app, you can do that. You can also scan the little QR code in the corner, but essentially you enter the game pin, put in your Telegram handle, enter this pattern of 4 characters here that you see, and that'll get you joining the game. So I'll give you all a little bit of time to get yourselves ready. The questions on this are mostly over our roadmap document. So if you read it, then you are in good shape to do well on this quiz. Hope you can hear this awesome music. I can't turn up my volume any louder. All right, got a few people joining here. Give you a little more time. Otherwise, Fast Turtle and Social Jaguar are going to have a pretty even shake at getting this money. Oh, nice. A lot more people in. Another. All right, I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute and then we're going to go ahead and start. So I'm setting my timer. You've got a little less than a minute to join us and then we'll begin. There are 10 questions this week. Some of them are pretty simple, easy gimmies. Some of them definitely require that you paid attention in the live stream and or read the roadmap article. So I hope you did your homework. 30 more seconds. If you aren't able to join within that 30-second time frame, as soon as I start the quiz, the game pin and the pattern will continue to show at the bottom of the screen, so you can still join a little later in the game. You'll just be at a little bit of a disadvantage as far as answering all of the questions as quickly as possible. So we got 10 more seconds before we begin. All right, well, let's get started. Here we go. Okay. Our first question, what's the vision of MetisDAO? Red, to build robust infrastructure for the Web3 economy. Blue, to support mass adoption of Web3. Yellow, to empower sovereignty and individual voice. Green, all of the above. Solid. Yeah, all of the above. Definitely all of the above. Very good. All right. Giving Llama is in the lead with Yellow Boa close behind. Next up. What are the 2 structures for governance being released in the second half of this year? Red, eco nodes and commons. Blue, commons and CEG. Yellow, nodes and CEG. Green, smart L2 and eco nodes. So what are these governance structures that we talked about today? that we're releasing this year. Few seconds left. Nice. Okay, it's eco nodes and commons. So smart L2, that was the one most commonly answered incorrectly. That refers to our technology, our infrastructure of the network. Eco nodes and commons are the two different governance structures that we will deploy. Whoa, Mystery Fox shot up out of nowhere. Social Jaguar, Majestic Stork. These names are hilarious. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Question number 3. What's the mission of Polis? So what does Polis do? Red, support decentralized governance. Blue, serve as a gateway from Web 2 to Web 3. Yellow, increase transaction speed. Green, decrease transaction cost. So what does Polis serve or do? A few more seconds. Okay. It serves as a gateway from Web 2 to Web 3. So it's kind of like our middleware interface there. Not to say that like some of the elements won't also happen, some of these other things won't also occur, but the mission of Polis itself is to help bring on mass adoption for Web 2 businesses. All right. Cool. Mystery Fox, Majestic Stork, Yellow Boa. You're on a streak. Congratulations. Which is not part of a fully decentralized layer 2 infrastructure. So as far as like what we're planning, what's not part of that? Red, sidechain deployment. Blue, peer network. Yellow, verifier staking. Green, sequencer pool. So which of those is not part of our plan for a fully decentralized layer 2 infrastructure? Nice. Sidechain deployment, right. Not part of what we do. So yeah, the rest of them are definitely in our roadmap for the rest of the year. We'll open our peer network to the public and our sequencer pool will start to be randomized, which is cool. All right, Majestic Stork taking the lead again. Yellow Boa coming in hot. Let's see what's up next. Which of the following refers to the back end for DApp developers to deploy NFT badges for reputation power? Red, Wisdom. Blue, Polis. Yellow, Matrix. Or green, Matrix Station. So remember, I talked about the reputation power system and how there were 3 kind of pieces to it. Which one is the backend for developers to deploy the badges for their reputation power? Yeah, it's Polis. So that's the backend. Matrix is the user interface. So that's where regular old Ashley can go on and mint my social NFT badge for everyone to see, and I have a little profile. Matrix Station is where dApps can like actually distribute the NFT badges, but like Polis is the back end where they develop what they want their reputation power to be awarded for and what those badges are going to be. Nice. All right, no change in the very top of the leaderboard, but the bottom's got some movement there. Let's see next. DAC infrastructure will include options for red, treasury management, blue, staking, yellow, voting power, green, all of the above. Nice, all of the above. Those ones are a little simpler, right? Good, very good. Okay. Okay, Smart Shark taken third. True or false? This one you only have 20 seconds. Metis will launch Web3 grants programs this year. True or false? Blue for true, red for false. Yeah, everybody got that one. Great. Yeah, we will. So for all sorts of dApps, we'll start to develop our ecosystem incentives plan. Nice. All right. Majestic Stork still in the lead. Builder reminding rewards will evolve to incorporate all except TVL, users, social media followers, or marketing exposure. So red is TVL, blue is users, yellow, social media followers, green, marketing exposure. This was laid out pretty specifically in the roadmap. So if you read it, then hopefully you know. Right now, it's just based on transaction volume. Yeah, nice. Even though having a lot of social media followers is awesome, the builder running rewards piece will come around if that results in marketing exposure that contributes to the network. So awesome. Okay, all right, here we go. Genesee DAC is the red Ecosystem Development Investor Fund, blue Ecosystem Grants Program, yellow Ecosystem Node Provider, or green Ecosystem Sequencer Pool. What's it gonna be? It's our next to last question, so get your answers in. Nice. Yeah, it's our investor fund. So it's kind of like a conglomerate of independent VCs that have come together to invest in projects on Metis. It's definitely an investment. It's not just giving money away. There's a lot of planning and preparation involved and some active collaboration. All right. Nice. Okay. Doing well. Last question here. And I'll give you a hint. This one's pretty simple. So there are multiple answers that you can choose from here. How can you ask the Metis team questions? Red Twitter, yellow Discord, blue Carrier Pigeon, or green Telegram. Select multiple answers, and we will find out the winner of our quiz today. Ten more seconds. Nice. Yeah. Twitter, Discord, or Telegram. If you have a carrier pigeon, you're welcome to send it. I don't know where you would send it. I don't know who would receive it. But it would be really cool if you did it and sent me a photo. I think that would be awesome. Unfortunately, Twitter, Discord, and Telegram are the most reliable options. Okay. So let's see who won. In third place, Rockstar Alpaca. Nice. He kind of came out of nowhere. Second place, Smart Shark. First place, Majestic Stork, yay! Congratulations! Got a couple runners up there. Awesome job, everybody. Thank you so much for playing and participating. Majestic Stork, I will get your Telegram handle from the game and I will send you a message about getting you your 100 USDC. So thanks everybody for participating and for tuning in for our live stream today. That's all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have other questions, hit us up. You know where to find us. Hope you have a great week.